All right, welcome everyone to Follow Up Boss Q2 2022 product roundup. Excited to dig into the things that have been updated over the last quarter and give you a sneak peek at what's to come. I'm here today with Follow Up Boss CEO Dan Corkle. How are you, Dan?
Hey Lee, hey everyone. Yeah, excited to see everyone piling into the chat there. Yeah, maybe if you're just logging in, let us know where you're dialing in from and let us know that you can hear us all good.
Awesome. Love to see that. Got people all over. I'm always impressed at the geography represented here. It's super cool. So Dan, do you want to give a little bit? I think everybody knows who you are. But you want to give a little bit of just background kind of coming into the last quarter, and then we'll dive right into the slides.
Sure. Yeah. If you haven't met me yet, one of the co-founders here, CEO, and also, pretty heavily involved with the product team and what we're trying to improve for you guys all the time. And, one of the funny things that sometimes people ask me about starting Follow Up Boss is like, how long did it take you to build it? And it's really just an ongoing thing that we've been doing for like the last 11 years, where we're constantly trying to update the software, make it easier to use, add the features which you guys are asking for, and ultimately want to help you guys make more sales. So, whatever kind of market we're in, like that's kind of our goal, is like, how can we get you guys involved in more transactions, by working your database better, essentially. Like that's what we're trying to do. So yeah.
Awesome. Love that. That's one of the best things about the platform. You guys are always improving, adding new features. And it's part of the reason we do these webinars, is to go through and tell you guys what's coming up. So quick, we're doing something interesting today. We're going to do a swag giveaway at the end of this webinar session. So you'll have to be on the session live to participate. There's a QR code on the screen right now. You guys can scan that in the session. Paul will also drop a link in the chat of the Zoom, as well as the chat on Facebook, or a comment on Facebook. So please click through, fill out that form if you want to be eligible. At the end of this session, we'll draw 50 random winners, and then we'll email you as a follow-up to get your address and your info to send your swag. So you'll have to register live. We'll announce the winners at the end of this webinar and then circle up with you guys on how to do that. So I'll leave the QR code up just a bit more here. And again, the link should be accessible if you're not in a place to scan a QR code.
Yeah, who doesn't like winning some free stuff, right? So yeah, get your entries in. Someone Eric mentioned he's already entered, so that was fast. Josh is already in. Kyle's trying to get a hoodie. So yeah, get your entries in, guys.
Love it. Cool. All right. Well, let's dive right in. We got a lot of stuff to tackle. You guys have been hard at work, and I'm excited to dive into what we're looking at. So first up, looking at deals. You want to talk about these deals, new deals, Dan, and commission splits?
Yeah, sure. So, a lot of feedback. We've always had a deals feature in Follow Up Boss. Obviously, it's kind of the important part of once a sale is actually underway or happening. We want a way for you guys to be able to track that in the system. While sort of recognizing, like, for transaction management, a lot of people are still using other systems, but having things like the commissions and the commission split is something. It's really like a key piece of data that we didn't have a special field for before. So now, happy to say we've got that, and what that lets us do is give you guys better reporting, which I think we're going to look at a little bit later, and then also talk about some other features like agent goals and goal setting, features that are going to be able to leverage this data, so we can really help you guys make sure you're on track with, your team and individual agents. And then obviously you guys can see how much money the team is getting from these splits versus the agent. So, that was sort of like the emphasis of adding that. And we still, are going to continue to integrate with all the different transaction management systems. The good thing is, like, these kind of additional fields give them a better way to integrate with us as well. So, yeah, that's sort of like the update here.
Yeah, and these are really great. I love that you guys did the percentage or the dollar figure So if you really want to dig in and be able to subtract like $100 fee or a fee or something like that, you can use it at that level. But if you're looking for more of just a general pipeline type thing, and it's a 50-50 split or a 60-40 split, you can also do it as the percentage, and it'll ultimately just calculate that number for you. And therefore, also, if this number changes, that this field will additionally update. So it's a really great feature.
Yeah, it's cool to see how people are using it. And then we do have some customers that they are doing everything in Follow Up Boss. They've really got their whole transaction management system in here. And I think that's cool to see as well, because if you can, not be using another piece of software, it just simplifies things a little bit, keeps everything all in one place.
For sure. And we'll get into, again, some of the reporting, like you mentioned later, Dan, and look a little more at some of that. So another really cool thing that kind of snuck under my radar even was these deal custom fields. These are really great features. They work essentially the same as a regular custom field, but they're tied to deals. And so if you wanted to keep track of certain parties potentially involved, even if they're not in Follow Up Boss, I just made an example of like an inspector name. If you wanted to, if that was an important data point for you, if you wanted to put in some sort of proposed closing date, or an inspection period end, dates like that you want to be able to watch both logistically, and then we're going to get into this in a little bit. We can actually now use these dates to trigger other things to happen. But yeah, I think these are really great. I'm actually really excited about these custom fields and the ability to edit them. And to your point, Dan, when you guys release these into the wild, it's awesome to see what people come up with as far as cool ways to use them.
Yeah, sure. I think there's a few people asking the chat, like, what about this fee? Or, what if I want an extra split? And, that's the kind of thing that these custom fields are really great for. We wanted to keep sort of like the fields that everyone gets like pretty simple, because, sort of keeping things simple, I think makes the software better for everyone. But, if you want to track this certain fee or this certain split, that's where you can just create a custom field. So then you can have everything, more customized to your workflow and exactly what you guys want to do. So yeah, you can edit those custom fields, just like custom fields, obviously on a contact, you can have those, those edited.
How do you get to the, this is such a new feature, I haven't even used it. How do you get to adding? I created those this morning, but.
Yeah, that's a great question. I didn't work on this feature a ton. I would assume it should be under.
I edited them this morning too. That's really funny.
Yeah, we'll have to double check on that and then let you guys know.
Oh, you know where it is? It's under here. It's under here.
Oh, under the, yeah. This is a little bit hidden, that settings icon that Lee just went to. But if you can see that next to buyers and sellers, that's where you can go in and add it for sure.
And I believe that's an owner only feature. So if you don't see that, you're not in an owner's account, but you essentially create these. Again, you can name them whatever you want, choose the format. The text field is great for entering things, but it's not truly data that you can manipulate. Like you can't say greater than, show me people greater than 5 or in the next 3 days. And then with dates, you can use it to trigger or be recurring. Numbers, again, you can use the values. So if you want to say, show me everybody over this amount or this number. And then drop downs can be really good too for if you have consistent things you want to measure, not having people being able to type in things or do misspellings or add things. So those things are great. But yeah, again, to access that, you would be in deals, and there's a little gear icon here to edit.
Yep. So, I saw Ellen was also asking if the custom fields show up on the calendar. So like, I don't believe right now they do, but that's probably something that we'll add in future. Also, by the way, right now looking at like a calendar overhaul, because we built the calendar feature a long time ago, honestly, and we're looking at how we can make it a lot better for you guys to use, basically. So how to show availability better, and then how to like incorporate some of these other features. So the deal close date shows up, which is like, there is a field for that will show up here, but those custom fields, I don't believe right now they're there, but that totally makes sense.
Cool. So the other thing that's really great is that in the automations now, these can now be triggered by those custom field dates. So I actually built one here that's pretty simple, but I wanted to do it where we could see both ways. So you can trigger it by deal stage change, which has been here for a little bit. So if you wanted to say, hey, change the contact stage to pending whenever the deal stage goes to pending, you can do that. But the new ad, which is really fantastic, is actually using that custom field date that we just looked at and created in the deals to also be a trigger. Now, you wouldn't have both of these. I did both as an example. But this is where you could say, hey, if this inspection period is past, it is upcoming or today or past, you can trigger an action plan to potentially say, hey, congrats, you got through your inspection period, or, hey, your closing's in 3 days. This is a really powerful tool that kind of slipped in. I was just learning about it more today, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. And I think with automation, sometimes people get a bit overwhelmed, but I think just thinking about simple things that you do all the time at certain stages of the transaction. So obviously, like when a transaction closes, there's things you're going to want to do. Like going to want to get a review from the client. You're going to want to make sure they were happy, right? There's obviously going to be paperwork and stuff like that to complete. Maybe you do need to put it in like the transaction management system that your brokerage uses, or whatever the case may be there. So yeah, just think about what those repetitive things are that happen all the time. And I think if you can, like Lee said, also use it to keep the client more updated, have some automation there. Maybe it sends them a video or just an email saying, hey, here's the things that are going to happen next. That's always nice, because obviously the more we're keeping people in the loop and keeping them updated, they just feel better about it, right? So yeah, lots of different ways to use that. And yeah, I would just start small though. That's sort of my advice. It's like, don't get overwhelmed with like all the things you could do.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That makes sense. So we had slides on some of these, but I just jumped right into the demo. So, but yeah, so triggering those automations based on the dates is obviously really powerful. And this is what we just looked through. The other thing that's probably not relevant for a ton of you guys, but really important for partners and integrations that you guys use, is there's a much deeper now API documentation for those integrations. So if you're using another platform that ties into your deals or can work off of those custom dates or anything to that effect, there's a much deeper integration. I know a lot of times agents aren't this isn't necessarily relevant for you, but we also have a lot of people that do a lot of cool stuff with Zapier and other platforms. So Dan, do you have anything to add to the API stuff?
Yeah, just sort of, again, it's sort of like our strategy is more to like integrate with other products that are great at transaction management. We're not trying to like be this single closed system. We want to integrate with all the best tools in the industry. And yeah, just having an open API just means that other companies can easily get access to that data if you guys want to give them access. So it's sort of, yeah, continuing to improve our API is just one of those things that goes on behind the scenes, I guess, to like let our integration partners build great integrations.
That's great. Love it. And now reporting. Let's dive into reporting. I think on the overview, one of the biggest things is just this newer card screen. So now there's an overview style. When you jump right into reporting, I used to open right to agent activity. Now it opens to a number of solutions here. There's still things across the top, but these cards are really great. I'm a big fan of these. I think it's a great layout and an easy way to really just hop right into specifically what you're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we did this we just wanted to make things easier to find, basically. So before, you would land on the agent activity screen and we'd actually find people asking us for like stats on their agents that already were in the system. They just didn't know how to find it. So we're hoping this will just make it easier for you guys to find the right reports. There's like, if you want a new kind of report, there's a suggest a feature link at the bottom. And then if you want to click on agent activity, Lee, there's also like a drop down at the left there where it says total lead count and total agent activity. That allows you to go into a few more of these reports. So some of them we listed as cards, the ones we thought were really important, but some of them we have broken out, as different reports here. So have a look there, because we might already have a lot of great data on some of the stats you want to look up. So
yeah, and this lead's not acted on one. I don't see enough people using this. This is such a powerful feature. It's literally will show you leads in your system that don't have any activity tied to them. I mean, this alone is a really great tool. Similar to that, though, if we jump back to the overall, I don't want to get too deep on this, but you can adjust these columns. And this is one of the columns that you can have. It is people that are not acted on. You could even drill down into calls versus emails versus text. But adding this leads not acted on is going to add this here, both as a card and as a column. So another really good way to look through this. And then let's see, we just talked through that. Reporting on the commission splits and all that. So that under the deals reporting now, we've got those splits that we just looked at earlier in deals. We've got those now pulling in to this deals reporting. And so the great thing about this too, you can sort by low to high or certain filters. And of course, you can view it, by agent or by team. If you're a platform user, you can even drill down to source. So you can actually look at a lot more granular info here using this feature.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I hope that makes a few people happy. If you scroll over as well on this report, there's, I think, some of that source data. So again, it's like,
right.
What we really want to do in Follow-Up Boss is show you, hey, where are your appointments coming from? And then where are your deals coming from? Because the better data you guys have on that, and we have really good data coming into Follow-Up Boss, right? And like where your leads coming from. And so the better we can match that up to what's paying off in terms of appointments and deals, that allows you guys to make smarter decisions when you're deciding like, hey, should I increase marketing spend here? Should I cut it? Should I make sure that we're working these leads as hard as these other ones? Or what's also like an interesting stat is the time to close, because you might spend $5,000 on leads this month, but the better like sort of idea you have of like what is your average time to close on those leads, again, that gives you a bit more of an idea of like, hey, when can I expect to be paid back, and what that looks like, right?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Dan. I also love the this time and stage. And now I believe that's the deal stage, right? It's not the contact stage. It's the time in the deal stage, or is it the contact stage?
Yeah, I believe, because this is the deals report, I think it's all based on deals. So they can also give you an idea of like something stuck in pending, or maybe like a stage just wasn't updated, or something like that. So that can also, if you're using those stages efficiently and updating them, that can give you a lot of good intel as well. That's a really good point.
Yeah, no, that's really great. I'm a big fan of that. So we just looked at the commission splits, the call logs reporting. This is really great, and also a newer feature. So specifically, again, when we go back to reporting in this overview screen, we've got it up here to get to the calls, but now they've added a new screen that is specifically just call logs. And so this is going to be all of the calls. Again, you can drill down by person, but this is actually all the calls. And I believe the default is also recent. I think it's newest to oldest. So it's a great way to go through and be able to see all the calls and the stats on them, as well as listen or download them if you have call recording on.
Yeah, for sure. We wanted to sort of make an easier way than going into like each contact. Like maybe you're coaching a new agent or an ISA or something like that. Or, for things like Google LSA, you also maybe want to order your calls, make sure all those are being answered and then answered well, So we want to just make it easy to play back calls without having to go into each individual contact. So this is definitely a place where you might want to come if you are looking to do some kind of call coaching. And then at the top, you can just choose the person who you would like to, zoom in on. And yeah, just basically give you one place to do that.
Yeah, it's really great. I love that you guys added the inbox as well too, so you can get some really good intel too if more are coming in from a specific inbox, or how long those last, or ultimately if those convert at a different level. So yeah, really great stuff here. I love the reporting updates. And yeah, you guys have done some really great mobile updates. You want to tackle these, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, we've grown our mobile team a little bit. We've now got a manager who's helping out with a lot of the different work there. Um, on Android, we've really been focused on, we're really on both platforms. We've been focused a lot on like quality of life improvements. So, fixing any like small bugs or crashes. There's some speed issues that people are running into on the Android app. We've been investing a lot of time on that. For some people, they were just not affected at all, but some people, it was just a bad experience. So, yeah, really just trying to make sure both apps are as seamless as possible. On iPhone, we've been like improving how texting works, upgrading like everything on the back end there. So, yeah, just keep making sure you're downloading the new versions of the app. We've really got a pretty big update coming next week for both Android and iPhone. So that will also be bringing a lot more of these, again, like more quality of life improvements, I guess, rather than just specific new features. But once we also like really nail a lot of these things, that's when we're going to be looking at, some updates in terms of features on them as well.
Great. And I just want to point out super quick too, when these updates happen, periodically, you're going to want to check your settings here. I'm glad we have this on the slide. You want to check your settings because occasionally there are a few things like this text in app checkbox and things like being sure that your caller ID is set up properly. There was a big change on that maybe about a year ago. So you might just check your settings periodically in the app to make sure that you've got everything current there. So and then a couple of exciting Android updates. Dan, I'll let you tackle these. I know this is some great stuff.
Yeah, we did add deals in the last quarter as well on Android. So yeah, you now have access to that. A couple of people asking in the chat, like, how do you know you've got the latest version? If you just tap on your avatar in the app, that'll take you that settings screen Lee was showing, and it'll actually tell you if you've got the latest version. You can also just go into the app stores on either platform, and it will tell you. But you can actually see that in the app as well. And like Lee was saying, you'd want to make sure things like caller ID and notifications and stuff like that are on. But yeah, that's just make sure you've got those latest versions. And then some people are asking about specific features coming to Android. It's definitely our intention to bring all the same features that are on iPhone to Android. So again, like we're just working through with a few more like core stability things, and then we'll be back to like bringing the features over that you have on iPhone and not Android yet. So those are things like pawns. I think someone's asking about searching templates. Definitely all that kind of stuff. We'll be bringing over.
Awesome. So just a couple things. I think you actually covered these, Dan, but as far as iPhones, the faster performance, texting screen updates. So, nothing too crazy, but again, I want to reiterate kind of what you said too, Dan, like some of these are just saving a click or two or an easier way to find stuff. So they're not quite as sexy as updates, but really when you're going through, a number of contacts or trying to follow up on your phone, every click and every second, definitely lead to a better workflow.
Yeah. Lisa was just saying in the chat she was having some issues with the Android app. Yeah, Lisa, if you want to send us an email, just to product@followupboss.com, we could definitely look into that. Again, some issues affect other people, some people more than others. So we could definitely try and do some troubleshooting with you. And then the other thing that's actually in both apps, if you go to that settings screen and click report a bug, you can actually submit a bug report to our developers. It gives them a lot of information about your device. So that's really helpful to do as well. So, but it sounds like actually the issue you mentioned is probably very related to what we're working on now. And so hopefully it'll be fixed really soon.
Cool. Yeah, that's great. That is great. So product at Follow Up Boss, or obviously you can always reach out to support at Follow Up Boss and they can get you to the right place. So call waiting. This is awesome. I actually didn't realize for a while that the call waiting, if a call comes in while you're on a call, it would essentially follow whatever rules you have set. But now it will notify you. And assuming the contact is in Follow Up Boss, it'll even let you know who it is. So if you've been waiting on a call, back from somebody all day, I know this happens a lot where of course you get on another call and somebody finally calls you back. You've now got the opportunity to just pretty much just like when your phone rings, pause your current call and grab that call, switch the call. But yeah, this is a really big thing because I know a lot of us are waiting for certain calls from either mortgage people or inspectors or things that we need to make a priority to answer. So this is a really big addition, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see sort of the feedback there from Rachel. They run an ISA team, and basically, you could be working the database, making all these outbound calls, but then someone calls you back, or you've got an inbound call, right? So obviously, that's more valuable if you're just maybe potentially just even dialing, not even on the phone with someone else. So that's really what this call waiting allows. Is now you can see that that person's on the line. You can choose to end the current call or put it on pause. So yeah, just being able to take um, those inbound calls better.
Awesome. Yeah, I love this feature. And this is what it looks like here if you're calling from desktop. So
Yeah, and someone was asking if you need to adjust anything to turn that on. It'll just be on by default because, yeah, there's not really any reason, I guess, to not have it. So I don't think you need to configure anything. You do have the options there if you want to like decline the call. You can do that as it comes in as well.
cool. Yeah, actually, I went through that really fast. But yeah, you've got the options here, just like you would on your regular mobile phone, to make that decision in that moment. And again, if the contact's in Follow Up Boss, it'll say, who that person is. So, and then some team inbox updates.
Yeah, so we made some updates here. What was happening is some people were adding like 20 different people to their team inboxes, and then it was creating some delay for some of the later people in that out of that 20, so they may get the call a second or two later. So yeah, we've done some work behind the scenes to make sure that's a lot faster. Probably best practice, you don't want to have too many people being called for each call. You probably want, I think around about 10 is probably where I would advise as a max, but you can go above that now, and we'll just support it a lot better. So yeah, that's what that update was for.
Cool.
This next one makes it just a lot easier to bring your signature into Follow Up Boss. So yeah, when you add new agents to your team, we try and pull it in automatically for them so that they don't even really need to do any work to set that up. But you can now import that here. And we've seen some issues where people were having their images hosted on other domains, like a lot of the Google domains in some cases could cause issues. And so this would import it and host any images that you have, like Facebook icons, or it might be your own picture or things like that. We'll host it for you, and that should create a lot less email deliverability issues. But if you still have anything going on, again, just reach out to support, and we can help you troubleshoot what's going on there.
Great. And Dan, I jumped just a bit ahead. There's a couple more team inbox things that I skipped on accident. So there's
Cool.
The Ring desktop setting, and I can just hop into an actual inbox to look at this, because I don't think we have a slide for it. But so you've obviously got the Ring desktop and Ring mobile that you can change now. So you can toggle this off now, which I believe is a new add. You could add or remove mobile, but I think desktop was I don't believe it was a checkbox, or it was maybe grayed out. So now you can change that. And then also additionally, there's a warning if you've got too many people in there. You can get a notification if that could potentially affect performance or the ability of people to answer. So kind of some more nerdy admin stuff there on team inboxes, but I didn't want to skip through that.
Cool, yeah. And if you need help setting up that screen, we do kind of recognize like it can be a little bit overwhelming, all the options on the team inbox screen. So definitely I would recommend just checking out our help article on that, watching the video, and then like just reaching out to us, if you still need some help there.
Yeah. Additionally, there's so much great content on the Follow Up Boss YouTube channel. Just want to mention that super quick. There's all kinds of quick tip videos that run through high-level features, as well as some more in-depth detailed things that go through some of the settings, as well as obviously the Follow Up Boss knowledge base. So another great thing here, we've done a few office hours on this recently to cover a little more of this, but this notification and the notification settings, you do now have the ability to control a lot more of your notifications. And if you get an email or a text message or a desktop notification, or just on the notification bell, I'm a huge fan of this. I've really dug into using this because I hate getting multiple notifications from multiple places in different ways. And it really allows you to kind of prioritize too, of, hey, I want to get a notification when this thing happens, but not when this thing happens. Let's go into this live. I don't think this was in our notes, but I wanted to just take a quick look. So you go,
Sure, yeah, this would be great to show everyone.
yeah, you go up here to the notification bell, which has your in-app notifications, but this gear setting here will take you to the screen that we were just looking at. So Dan, do you want to talk a little bit through about kind of what the options and some of the notification things are?
Yeah, so a lot of people should never need to adjust these, but if you, like Lee said, if you want to get a bit more specific, like maybe you don't want to text about a new lead, or maybe you do, like this is where you can really come in and define that. So maybe you're getting too many emails about new leads, you can turn that off. This is also where you can make sure you've got your browser notifications turned on. So at the top there, you can see leads have been prompted to sort of give permission to have browser notifications. So that's when we're going to let you know, like you've got a new text or you've got a new lead, it'll pop up, you know, in your browser just to let you know that. So again, like it's not something which most people should need to configure, but if you do want to say, like maybe you're getting too many, like I said, too many emails about a new lead, yeah, you can turn those kind of things off here.
And this is per your account. So you're not adjusting team settings necessarily. This is your individual preferences. And yeah,
Yeah.
to piggyback on what you said, Dan, I'm definitely a fan of having more of them on at first so you don't miss anything. But then when you start to say, okay, well, I don't need to get an email every time somebody's added to a pond, you can adjust some of those things here. And again, that is the notification bell in your account, and then just click on the settings gear. So I didn't want to breeze through that because I'm a big fan of that one. So. All right, perfect. So yeah, some integrations. This is a big deal.
Yeah, I think where, you know, some of the team was shared with us that we, you know, we'd reached 70 million lead emails processed. So, you know, we've been doing this for 11 years now. We've got tons of, yeah, the system has definitely been, you know, put through its paces. And, you know, some accounts are sending us, you know, thousands of leads all the time. The other cool thing is like we're looking at ways we can use this data to help you guys, give you guys better insights, and yeah, just help with prioritizing follow-up, things like that. So yeah, we've actually made some like data science hires recently, which will be able to help out with, you know, we're building some of these things behind the scenes. So again, we can sort of, how can we use the information we have to give you guys better insights and prioritization and things like that. So yeah.
Cool. And then you guys added a couple of specific integrations recently, the Ojo Labs auto lead processing. That's a big one. I know sometimes these platforms come out and they're not, you know, we all want to try to get those leads in Follow Up Boss, but the platform isn't always set up, or the emails aren't set up in a way that can auto parse. So I know that you guys are always quick to make those happen. So also a Roupler direct integration and a Real Scout direct integration, which I know that's a big one. I've seen lots of asks in the success community over time for this Real Scout integration.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's always exciting to see, you know, more people building integrations with Follow Up Boss. I think now we have such a great like community and customer base that people really want to build tools for our customer base, which is cool, you know, because like 10 years ago, it was more us going out and, you know, building the integrations with these companies. And now we've got a lot of companies that are building great things on top of the Follow Up Boss API, and then just creating more value at the end of the day for our customers. So yeah, Ojo's great. A lot of people were requesting to get those leads automatically in Follow Up Boss. That's now happening. Roupler's one as well. You know, they're doing a lot of cool stuff with lead gen and texting integration, stuff like that. And then Real Scout, yeah, they've been around, I think, just about as long as us. And, you know, so it's kind of cool to have more of a direct integration with them. And then I'm sure there's actually a few that, you know, we haven't mentioned here. Another thing that we're going to be working on is like, how do we better share which integrations we have and recommend, and kind of updating probably the integration screen in the app, just making them easier to discover. Because yeah, we know there's a lot of tools out there, and we want to sort of share, I guess, which ones our customers are having the most success with. I mean, obviously checking out places like the Facebook community is also great for getting feedback on all these different integrations and vendors. So
For sure. That's great. So I think now we're moving into what's next. So that was a lot of stuff you guys were hard at work last quarter. But yeah, let's talk about what's coming in the next quarter.
Yeah, so we got a lot of things that we're going to be working on, but right now, like one of the things we have been working on, just not released yet, is agent goals and agent accountability. So you can see some of the feedback here. Again, like we get a lot of great feedback from you guys asking for these things. That informs a lot of like how we think about what problems we're trying to solve, what features we're trying to build. So yeah, keep that feedback coming. But basically, there was nowhere in Follow Up Boss before to set goals for your agents, right? So you'd sort of have to track that separately. And then with some of the extra data we've now got, like agent commissions, things like that, we realized like, hey, this is a good opportunity to use that data and really make it easier to sort of sit down with an agent and say, hey, look, here's how you're doing. We had tools like the leaderboard and so on where you can compare to each other, but that still is not really, that doesn't take you right into that agent's business, right? So that's sort of like the goal with the agent goals report. And I think there's maybe a slide with just a preview of what that's going to look like. Yes, so this is kind of, we're just sort of in beta testing for this now. We're going to be getting a lot of feedback on it. So really going to be able to set a goal with your agent in the system, basically what commission they would want to earn this year. You track their progress towards that. And then you'll also be able to see on this screen the deals they're involved in, their recent leads, and then also their appointments, right? So again, like how can we deep dive a little bit better into that agent's business? So yeah, this is going to be coming soon. Again, we're going to be running a beta for it, getting some more feedback, and then hopefully getting it out in everyone's hands, probably over the next month or so.
Yeah, this is such a great feature. This will aid obviously in agent one-on-ones and overall coaching, as well as just their own accountability. I think Follow Boss is such a powerful tool. There's a lot of things people can do in it. I think having a singular place where an agent can go to kind of see, okay, well, where leaderboard's great for this, but I think this is an even more, overview type of way to look at what's happening. Plus the activities that you did 30 days, it takes time for these activities to generate revenue. So having deeper reporting like this is going to really help see that, hey, the things I did, 30, 60, 90 days ago are now resulting in business. So I'm really excited about this too. And then ultimately there's also a business insights email that's more for the entire company, but you'll be able to automatically get, I believe it's a Monday morning, Dan, you get an email, I think that has some aggregate info.
Yeah, absolutely. So, obviously we've got a lot of reports in Follow Up Boss and so on, but we're all busy. So one of the things is we're going to have this business insights email that you'll be able to get, like Lee said, every Monday. And it's going to tell you things like, how many leads did you get in last week? How many appointments? What were your top lead sources? How are you tracking toward your 2022 goals? So that'll be one of the key things. You can see in the subject line, it's kind of got that. So there's a few little tweaks we need to make there. I think we need to make it easier to enter in what your specific goal is as an overall team and company. But yeah, we're excited about this because, even without sort of you having to go look for this data, we just want to send you a quick summary email. And the cool thing about this is you'll also be able to like CC anyone that's super relevant. So that may be like an admin on your team. You might want to CC everyone in the team. You might want to CC your real estate coach. So you can have that kind of accountability sent to the right people. Or, if it's more just you wanting to get it, you can just do that as well. And then obviously like a lot of places in this email just sort of link you into the app if you want to look at more details on lead source or what your agents have been doing. And, we're talking in a team context here, but, all these tools will still be useful for single agents as well. Because, again, you'll be able to really see like, okay, how am I tracking against my goals?
Yeah, and I just want to reiterate that, Dan, what you said, like these are all also obviously clickable links that will take you to that information. And so just having that trigger first of the week of, oh, I should look at that, or, oh, this is our top lead source. I think that is really powerful. And I love, Dan, the way you guys built this too, that you can CC anyone. It's just a blank field. So it doesn't have to be a user. So yeah, if it's a coach,
right, exactly,
some sort of outside party, you can just add whoever you want it to go to there yourself within your account. So it's definitely a really, really great feature. So this I'm super excited about too, the mass action visibility. So this is obviously right now, if you create a mass action, you change a source or reassign leads in bulk, there's not really a documentation you can go to for that. I use tags a lot actually to do this so that I could potentially find, oh no, I reassigned these to the wrong person, or oh no, I did something. But I think this is a really great feature. Can you tell us a little more about this, Dan, and kind of how it'll work?
Yeah, sure. So I guess our support team will a lot of time get requests like, oh no, I just accidentally reassigned all these leads to this person. But then they just didn't have a great way to know like, well, who was assigned before or to reverse that. And we have a couple of tools that we were using internally. And essentially we want to just make it easier. So the plan is to make this available probably sometime again over the next month. So, you can see these kind of mass actions that people have done in your account. You can see the ones that you've done. So, occasionally if you make a mistake, it's going to just be a lot easier to reverse, because things like, you added a tag, that's pretty easy to clean up. But some of the actions you might take, like changing the stage on 10,000 leads or something like that, or reassigning 10,000 leads, that's just really difficult to revert unless you have some kind of tool like this. So
Absolutely. And just the insight on that, if you are a bigger team, you've got a couple of different staff people, just being able to see like, okay, they reassigned 50 leads to this guy. Great. Let's move on. So, but yeah, I'm really excited about that. I think that's a big one. And another great integration that people have been asking for, it's coming soon.
yeah, for sure. We've got a beta integration with Real Geeks. I mean, they've been around a long time. I think even longer than Follow Up Us. They got a solid product. We definitely got a lot of customers using them. And I think they really do a lot. They put out a lot of great content, especially for single agents and just growing your business and stuff like that. So, we're excited to have a deeper integration there. We've always wanted one. But yeah, it's in beta at the moment. And basically, once we iron out a couple more kinks, we'll be sort of releasing that to everyone. And then, everyone that has Real Geeks and Follow Up Us already, we'll be able to take advantage of it. And they'll be bringing over like extra data that we weren't getting before, like what properties people are saving, as well as sort of making it easier to keep in sync. Like, the agent that's assigned in Follow Up Us will also be the same agent, assigned in Real Geeks. So, again, that probably over the next couple of weeks, months, that'll be coming.
Great. And roadmap, we got to cover roadmap. I think we could do roadmap on every webinar. I know a lot of you guys have great feedback. And one of the things I love most about Follow Boss is that they do truly listen to this feedback. And there is a system though for getting these to the right people. And so within your account, there's what is called a roadmap feature. You click on the question mark and then suggest a feature. And then there are even different segments, for lack of a better term, for the web, like the desktop application, as well as separate items for iPhone and Android. So you can add features to this, and the more detail and reason you can give, the better, because it helps the team understand how you would use this. And the other interesting thing too is you can come in here and upvote these or add notes to it. So if you see a feature here that you do really like or you agree with, you can pop in here and say, hey, this is a critical update, and even add a little more feedback around why you feel this is critical. But this is really important because this does go straight to the development that these guys are looking at. Posting a comment in Facebook is great. Emailing support is great, but this is truly the home base for the team considering new features.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said, the more context you can give the team, it just makes it easier to prioritize. And yeah, you can, at the top, you can go and see what we're working on now. You can go to iPhone, you can go to Android, and you can see if you went to Android, for example, people asking about, is this feature going to come to Android? Like, you'll see those features there, and over time they're going to move into, obviously we're working on it, then we launched it. So yeah, it's just another data point for our team to be able to look at, combined with talking to customers and hearing all the great feedback you guys send for support. Yeah, just just use this, yeah, to add in that feedback. You can also add in a new idea if you see something that isn't like represented there at all, and that's down at like the bottom left. You can just put in a brand new idea as well.
Yeah, that's great. I'm such a big fan of that. And something I just realized for the first time in going through here, might not be a bad idea to come in here and just look at the launched features to keep aware of some of the things that have happened and make sure you don't miss things. Obviously, we love for you to attend these webinars, but these are updated more frequently. We'll do a quarterly product roundup, but these are updated as they happen. So another great resource for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes people for sure ask us for features that maybe we launched a year ago or something. So if you just have a browse through there, you probably will find some things under launch that, you know, maybe you could take advantage of, but you're not using right now.
For sure. And this thing I'm extra excited about because you guys are coming to my hometown of Atlanta for the Level Up Mastermind. I know you guys did an awesome one in San Diego earlier this year. And I'm super excited that you guys are going to be here in my home base at the Fox Theater. It's a unbelievably awesome venue, a really great plan. Dan, do you want to run down some of the specifics, so maybe some of the speakers and what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, there's just going to be, you can see a lot of the speakers there. You know, Gabe Cordova from Wailopo, Jeff and Renee Funk, they're always awesome. Ricardo's going to be there, and then a lot of killer ops people as well, who really run some of the biggest operations in the country, like Scott from Gary Ashton's team, you know, and Scott and Debbie actually from Gary's team, and you know, a bunch of others. So I think the venue, like Lee said, is going to be amazing. The mastermind we did in San Diego was just like, it exceeded all of my expectations, honestly, and I think for a lot of people that attended. So that's our goal really with these masterminds, you know, just bringing people together. How can we all share and learn from each other? And, you know, at the end of the day, we want to level up our businesses. That's why it's called the Level Up Mastermind series. And yeah, just, you know, if you can make it, or this one is really focused on operations. So I've definitely let some of our teams know, hey, even if you can't make it as a team leader, this is probably the one event you should send your operations person too, you know, and they can learn, then they can bring back some ideas and better ways that you guys can be growing the business.
Definitely. Yeah, that's really great. I also want to mention really quick, you know, use the link followupboss.com/Atlanta. There's also some team pricing. So if you're looking at doing additional tickets, there's some benefits for purchasing multiple tickets. And yeah, Dan and I would like you to personally invite you to come hang with us in Atlanta in a couple of weeks, because it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the food's great. You know, there's a lot of catering and stuff involved. The venue's great. I just want to share, like, it's not our goal to like make money on any of these events, and most of them we just lose money. But it's sort of, you know, we want to put on the best event possible. So we're not trying to run like the cheapest events and just get everyone in like a hole and, you know, I don't know, charge $50 or something. This is really meant to be a mastermind, something that people are excited to come to and come back to. So
yeah, that's great. I can't wait. And this is huge also. Fubcon, the very first inaugural, I guess if that's the right term, Follow Boss conference. I know you guys, Dan, you and I have talked about this for years and years about you guys doing a big event, and I'm really excited to see this this happen.
yeah, absolutely. Like, I think, you know, this is sort of, we've been really running a lot more events over the last year, but this is definitely going to be the biggest. We have an insane venue. I don't have a picture of it up here, but it's at the Cosmo in Las Vegas. And so compared to like a lot of real estate conferences, they're just in like a hall and there's a stage. This is actually in a theater where, you know, like if Kevin Hart goes to Las Vegas, like that's where he performs at. Or we went and saw like a music show there when they were showing us the stage and everything. So, you know, this theater style seating, there's going to be, you know, VIP areas, and, you know, it's just going to be very cool. Like it's not going to be like a lot of other real estate events. And again, we're really looking to make this as valuable as possible for you guys. Like we're going to work on getting the best speakers, have the best agenda. And again, like the Cosmo, like it's honestly my favorite place to stay in Las Vegas, because it's a really nice hotel, but then also it's the only hotel in Vegas where there's balconies, right? So it's like, it's cool to be able to have some outside fresh air. And the tickets are not for sale for this just yet. probably in the next, I would say, 2 weeks. Tickets will go on sale, and it's just going to be an insane deal. Like the actual ticket is going to include your stay at the Cosmo, and again, it's just like, and it's an amazing hotel. So, like even if you're not a big Vegas person, I think this is going to be an event which, will be exciting and fun. And again, it's going to almost the entire Follow Up Boss team is going to be there. So it's just going to be such a great place to, meet people in our team, meet each other, and work on building the community. Again, like probably about 2 weeks, we'll send out an email and something letting you guys know all the details in terms of like buying tickets and stuff like that. But November 8th to 10th, like if you can block off those dates now, just so you're available. And again, like it might be a few people on your team that want to come. An idea I heard the other day is like they're actually using this as an incentive. So hey, if you want to come to Fubcon in November, then like we need to hit these goals, right? So I just think it's going to be a great time.
That's smart. Yeah, that's awesome. This is gonna be such a great event, and some of us meeting for the first time, I'm sure, who have been connected for a long time. So yeah, that's really great. Be sure you get those dates down. And let's talk a little bit. You guys had a big company all hands recently in Austin. I've seen some of the pictures. I'm excited to hear a little more.
Yeah, we basically, everyone at Follow Up Boss works remotely. So probably some people know that already, some may not. We've been doing this remotely for about 11 years. So certainly well before, COVID forced a lot of companies to go remote. But this was just a chance for everyone to get together here in Austin and hang out, get to know each other better. We've grown a lot over the last 2 years. So we hadn't met a lot of people in person as well. So that was really fun. And we really were just talking a lot about like how we can continue to grow the company, add value for you guys, our customers, and really thanks to you guys for supporting us, because we wouldn't be able to do cool things like this or have such a great company if we didn't have such great customers. So again, it's sort of like we're all in this together. If you want to check out a video from the event or just a little bit more about our culture, you can go to followupboss.com/about. I'll drop it in the chat there, and you can just check that out. And again, we're trying to essentially like the culture we're trying to build is like customer obsessed, really. So like everything we can do to make the product and service better for you guys, that's what we're excited about. And we're just trying to hire people like that who are as excited about those kind of things. And again, I think events is something probably for like the first 8 years of the company, we never went to events. Like people would always like, are you going to Inman? Are you going to this? And Lee knows, like, we'd never go to it. Like maybe very rarely, we might go to like one event a year. I actually met Lee at an event in Atlanta one time. But yeah, we were just so focused on product and growing the company and service. But now we're realizing like, hey, like we need to be out there talking to our customers more. We need to be providing education, masterminds, and these additional ways we can add value beyond just the software, which obviously we're going to keep updating as well.
That's awesome. I love it. So let's do a quick recap of the Q2. We're going to end with our giveaway. So stay tuned. If you're sticking around, if you submitted for the giveaway, stay tuned. We're going to announce that in just a second. But Dan, if you want, let's run this down and we'll hop into the winners. Just recap what we covered.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, we got the deal commissions and splits, the deal custom field. So a lot more options there if you're tracking your deals. In Follow Up Boss, we also updated the reporting based on that. We made it a lot easier to see what all the different reports are in Follow Up Boss. And actually, there's a new admin screen now as well. So if you guys go to admin, you also should be finding a lot of things easier to find in there, because there's so many tabs and so many different things we've added over time. Again, just need a bit more reorganization. On iPhone and Android, again, like a lot of updates there to do with stability. We added the deals feature on Android. And a lot more good stuff to come on the mobile apps. Again, there should be a release out next week, so just keep an eye on that. You should make sure you should try and have like auto updating on, but even if you don't, just check in the app every now and then if it's the latest version. Call waiting, so that's just more opportunities to answer those incoming calls that come in, even if maybe you're already dialing out. And then just reliability around some of the phone system stuff, making it faster. Some of the integrations we talked about, Real Geeks, Real Scout, Rupler, Ojo, and then there's a bunch more. So again, we're going to be looking at a better way to surface all those and make them easier to find for you guys as well. And then we took a little sneak peek at the agent goals report, which we're really polishing now, and should have in your guys' hands the next couple of weeks.
Awesome. Cool. So very good. Thank you guys for digesting all that. Don't go anywhere because we're about to announce our winners. I'm going to click this link and it's going to open and display our winners. Again, the team will get in touch with you. There's nothing you need to do. But let's see what's going on here. All right. Go full screen with it if I can. There we go. All right. Very good. So if your name is on the screen, you are soon to be the proud owner of some fresh new Follow Up Boss swag. The team will follow up to you to check your size or whatnot to send. But we really appreciate you guys being on. Speaking as a customer, it's really been fantastic just to see the progression of the platform and the growth of the team. I know every time I reach out, I always talk to somebody helpful and friendly, and it's really, really impressive what you guys have done and build and continue to do every day. So, Dan, you want to just take us out or maybe remind people to come see us in Atlanta, or I'll save the dates?
Yeah, guys, I mean, try and get out to at least one of those events, if not Atlanta, maybe Fubcon in November. Again, it's like, we're gonna have the details out soon, and like, it's almost like worth buying a ticket just to go and get to stay at the Cosmo. So one person was asking when can they come to Fub office hours with you, Lee? When do you have that on?
So every first and third Thursdays, generally speaking. Also be sure you join the Follow Up Boss Success community, because I'll typically post in there the week of when they happen. But it's every first and third Thursday at 1 Eastern. Awesome. Thank you guys. Yeah. Thank you guys all so much, and I look forward to seeing you guys again next quarter.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Lee. See you.